Hey, everything else, let's just keep rocking and rolling, baby. Hit him in the mouth. Let's go right here.
Welcome to Sportsline Friday night. I'm Jacques Duce along with Steve Schneider. Some invigorating weather out there. A chance for folks to break out the long sleeves. And it's Halloween weekend, and Woodlawn was dressing up for an upset this evening.
Absolutely. They didn't just scare the #1 team in the state in 5A, the Catholic High Bears, who came in 8-0. 2 years ago, they beat this Woodlawn team 55-20. Last year, it was a 7-point loss for Woodlawn. Tonight, the Panthers decided to take it all the way. Ricky Collins, first possession to Clayton Adams. Woodlawn goes in front of the Bears, 7-0. Catholic comes back. Tay Nicholas, 10-yard touchdown. We are tied at 7. Lots of scoring in the first half, 42 points to be exact. Nicholas again here gives Catholic the 14-7 lead. Ed Ogeron on the sideline checking out a lot of talent that's going to play at the next level. The Panthers, Amani Givens, I should say, 4-yard touchdown, ties it at 14-14. Back come the Bears. Corey Singleton from the 3-yard line, 21-14. Then before halftime, Givens again, 14-yard touchdown. We are tied 21-21 at the break in the third quarter. Catholic jumps out in front again. Nicholas, third touchdown of the game for him. Catholic back in front, 28-21. Givens says, anything you can do, I can do. He's about to get his third touchdown. This is a 54-yarder in the fourth quarter. Catholic on the ropes, having won their games the last 2 weeks, 119-13. Been a long time since they've been in a nail-biter like this, and wouldn't you know it, on the ensuing kickoff, the Panthers squib it, it bounces away, they recover, they drive down to the goal line. Ricky Collins runs it in for the go-ahead touchdown. Remember 34-27 the loss last year? A year later, instead of a 7-point loss, this is a 7-point victory as they go to the victory formation. Woodlawn stunning the Catholic High Bears, 35-28 was your final.
All right, up at West Feliciana this evening, the Saints playing host to U High, who is undefeated on the year so far. But take a look early. John Trey Cummings, the big quarterback sack for the Saints. That guy right there, it's his birthday. He's got his thumbs up, and U High repays the favor. Harry Beecham, he barrels through the sack, the strip. It's going to be recovered by Roman Petrie for U High, so they are in good shape. And watch Blake Abney back in the pocket, rolling out and firing the deep shot to Eden Stagg, who makes the touchdown reception. The Cubs out to the 7-0 lead. A little bit later, it's Abney again. This time, unloading to Jason Barnes, who is out there to make the catch. And it's into the end zone for another score to make it 14-0. The Saints scored their share of points tonight, but U High too much, 55-28. The final score this evening up in St. Francisville.
We could call it the fastest 40 minutes in television. We've done 2 of about 24 games, and we'll be right back. Don't forget, at 10:35, we switch over to WBXH on cable, and we also have the entire 40-minute show for you, WAFB Plus and the 9 News app. Welcome back to Sportsline. 2 of the top 6 teams in the 5A power ranking squaring off at Central tonight. You saw the Wildcats running out. Here come the Zachary Broncos. Eli Holstein to Cameron Senegal. Jamarius Jarvis comes up with a loose ball, but Holstein says, wait a minute, where are you going with that? What a hustle play for the quarterback to get the football back for his team. And on the ensuing drive, Connor Wisham makes it pay off. He has the long touchdown run down the sideline, just like that. The Broncos, with that juke move, are into the end zone for a 7-0 lead. Still in the first quarter, Zachary stopped by the Central defense. They're back to punt, but they're not gonna. Cameron Walker hands it to Jerome Robinson. He takes it up the sideline, picking up the first down. Holstein keeps it for an 11-yard touchdown right here. Broncos on top, 14-0. We move to the second quarter, and Zachary is on the move. Holstein will go back to pass again. Can't find anyone open. He's been known to do this. Tuck it and run. 53 yards, John.
Outstanding. And the fumble a while ago, that was just to get more offensive yards, make it a longer drive.
Right. That's right. A few plays later, Wisham, his second score, 21-0. Broncos jumped out to the big lead, just like they did against Scotlandville. Here's your final, as Central did get on the board, but not nearly enough. 47-14. Zachary figures now to be number 1 in 5A with the Catholic loss.
Live Oak got off to a 4-0 start, but they had lost their last 3 games going into this one this evening. Taking on Scotlandville, Sawyer Pruitt to Chase Jones for the touchdown. Scotlandville up at that point, 34-14 in the second quarter. Ensuing possession, Savion T-Set then airing it out. Nice tight spiral, hits his man in stride. That's Chance Williams for the 40-yard gain. Time runs out though, and it's halftime, and quite the halftime show there. Marlon Gunn Jr. then a 54-yard touchdown. A little stop and go, and he stays on his feet. He's pushed and he scores to make it 40-14 Scotlandville at that point. Lots of dancing tonight. Blake Rosenthal, the rushing touchdown to make it 40-21. Scotlandville still leading at that point. Chance Williams, we've called his name already in these highlights, and here he comes again. Number 2, sprinting down the field, and he's looking around. It's too easy, right? 50-yard touchdown. Scotlandville puts 53 on the board tonight. They even up their record at 4-4 after that loss to Zachary last week, 53-28.
All right, still one more segment here on WAFB, then we're switching over to WBXH. As we mentioned before, WAFB Plus and the 9 News app is a place you can find the entire 40 minutes. Back after this.
Welcome back to Sportsline Friday night. The East Ascension Spartans at McKinley. It was a running clock in the second half, and as I walked in, Xavier Jupiter was also running down the sideline for a touchdown to make it 45-0 Spartans at that point. McKinley finds the end zone. Xavier Washington, very unique delivery. Kind of a Bernie Kosar sidearm to Cameron Price. So McKinley is on the scoreboard, but Darnell Lee, his team, rolls to the easy victory tonight. 45-6 was the final, and Walter Samuel is our reigning player of the week. Steve, EA also picked up a forfeit this week. They had lost to Brother Martin on the field, but Brother Martin has to give the game over to EA, so they've had a pretty good week.
And they're headed into the Week 10 showdown with their rival Santa Ma, which we'll have later in the show, playing Dutchtown tonight. All right, take you to Parkview. Eagles celebrating senior night. 23 of Stephon LaFour's guys playing their final game at home in the regular season. Baker was the visitor. Brant Yarborough with a 6-0 lead, caught a long pass, then had that touchdown run, 14-0. Abram Johnston finding Ethan Payman. 21-0 your score. Baker dominated by the Eagles defense. Wyatt Beck, their leading tackler, with that hit. It sets up another trip to the end zone for Yarborough. This game was out of hand by halftime, 28-0. It would stay that way in the second half as the Eagles pitch a shutout over the Buffaloes. I believe it was 47-0. There you go.
All right, we got much more coming up here on Sportsline Friday night. Don't forget, we're switching over to WBXH, and we're live streaming all the time, right, on WAFB.com.
We went under the water tower, an exciting finish for Kentwood against St. Helena. Also, Live Oak, Walker and Denham Springs in an overtime game. A lot more coming your way in just a few minutes here. Sportsline Friday night, about 24 games in the rundown. Hopefully we'll be able to get to all of them. And
Struma, they've had a nice year so far. How they do this evening as well. We got the Ascension Bowl as well, Ascension Christian and Ascension Catholic. So plenty of games coming up. So stay with us on different platforms.
Sportsline Friday night, week 9, Halloween edition. Along with Jacques Doucet, I'm Steve Schneider, and let's keep them rolling.
This Ascension Parish is like the SEC West, the way these games are bouncing around. Dutchtown and Sandoval this evening going at it. The homecoming queen, Jenna Spillman. Congratulations to her this evening. She'll remember that night for the rest of her life. Gators leading 7-0 at the half. Dutchtown, Sean Whitfield is picked off by Vernon Scott. And here comes Sandoval. Cole Poirier, an outstanding quarterback, finds Noah Luke for a big game there as he is sprinting into the secondary before he finally is nudged out of bounds. Poirier then with the keeper, bouncing off of would-be tacklers into the end zone for the score, 14-0 Gators.
This is our first look at the turf at the pit, right?
That's right, and the offensive players like it, I believe. Dylan Sampson up the middle for the touchdown. Gators leading 14-7 at that point. Then it's Poirier with the keeper. He makes the score 21-7, so Sandoval with a 2-touchdown lead. Fourth quarter, Sampson in the Wildcat. He's going to throw it to a wide open Bayloy Langlois. Langlois caught it over his shoulders there.
Knocked the tackler over.
And finally his tackle. Listen to that crowd roar, right? And then it's Sampson taking it down the sideline for the touchdown. So the Gators leading 21-14 at that point. Last chance for the Griffins. Fourth down pass is complete to Dylan Sampson, but he stopped short of the first down. And the Gators go on to run out the clock, and they hang on to win it this evening. Another outstanding football game, 21-14.
Guy Mastretta said it should be quite an environment before the game. I think he was right about that.
No doubt about it. All right, let's talk about some Thursday night action. This was Central Private at Mumford Stadium taking on Southern Lab. And Southern Lab got the ball to start the game. First play of the contest, Angelo Izard keeps it, takes off down the sidelines. Looks like he's just jogging at 3/4 speed there. 49-yard touchdown to make it 7-0. The Kittens defense forced a 3-and-out, and their offense gets inside the red zone. Izard fires a strike over the middle to Darren Morris. He's into the end zone for the 16-yard touchdown. Extra point was no good. 13-0 Southern Lab at that point. Darrell Asbury looking on. He looks unhappy, but that's what coaches are supposed to do, right? So Kittens defense forced another 3-and-out. Offense back at it. Izard throws the screen to Antonio Donahue. That makes it 20-0. Southern Lab enjoys their Thursday evening. Do they ever? 68-6 final score.
Catholic Point Capee celebrating homecoming on a Thursday night, taking on the North Central Hurricanes. Their quarterback, Hayden Elliott, 10-yard touchdown and a 2-point play. Hornets went in front 8-0 first quarter. Then the Hurricane quarterback, Aaron Johnson, will drop back and try to make a throw, but that's not happening. Hunter Beard in there for the sack. The Hornets would take another possession, and I guess Mr. Beard deserved this. After making that sack, he gets the handoff right up the middle for a touchdown. Hornets are up 15-0 after the extra point. Later, back on the attack again, and here come the Hornets. Elliott pitching to Connor Kimball. He will take it to the house for another touchdown. 22-0 at this point. Catholic Point Capee didn't throw a pass in this entire game. They led 50-6 at halftime. The Hurricanes did get 3 touchdown passes from Johnson. This one to Reginald Stoner that made it 22-6. But this was all Hornets. 56-26 was your final score.
All right, another Thursday night game. The Pine Raiders at AMITE. First quarter, and Earl Jackson takes the handoff and scores on the 46-yard touchdown. That makes it 7-0, AMITE out in front. Ensuing kickoff, and Antarius Walker gathers the football as it one hops to him. He has some momentum as he runs up to it, and this is pretty much north and south running. Point A to point B for Walker. And that's an 80-yard return to tie the game up at 7 apiece. Warriors looking to answer. Jalen Robinson back in the pocket, rolling out. Looking for his man. Little side arm action to Javay Gilmore for the first down. That leads to a Robinson quarterback sneak to take a 14-7 lead coming up. Raiders would be facing a third down, and it'll be Luke Spears sacking Zamian Waller coming up. And we're going to get a nice look at all the players. And there's the big defensive play. That would lead to the Warriors looking to build on their lead. Brennan Harrell with a huge first down, breaks a few tacklers along the way. Ooh, little 180, 360 action. And
that's where it helps to be low to the ground.
Staying on his feet, and big collision there at the end, but he pops right back up. Robinson later finds Jackson for the 18-yarder for a second touchdown of the quarter. AMITE goes up 21-7. In the second quarter now, Ashton Terrell scores from 14 yards out, extends the Warriors' lead to 28-7 to right before the end of the first half. There he is into the end zone for the score. Warriors go on to win big, 43-7, final score.
A Livingston Parish rivalry was wild tonight. Wildcats against the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. Stay tuned for that. Welcome back to Sportsline Friday night. Walker homecoming, that's the queen, Molly Baker. Her team was up 14-0 early. It was 14-7 at the half. Warren Young on the quarterback run, 20-7. The Wildcats are cruising against rival Denham Springs. But in the fourth quarter, Ray McNeely, a nice pickup right here inside the 5-yard line. And that is actually, that's Young scoring a touchdown right there. So this is the fourth quarter. McNeely, a nice run inside the 5-yard line. Then the Jackets facing a third down, and McNeely gets the touchdown. That makes it a 20-14 Walker lead. McNeely would score on another sneak, and Denham Springs goes in front 21-20. Wildcats looking to answer that. Young. Back to pass, looking for former player of the week, Ja'Cory Thomas. That is 6 points. And by getting a 2-point play, they make it a 28-21 lead. It's really nice when you can win homecoming, but they got to close the deal. On a fourth down, the Jackets, Jerry Horn connecting with Lionel Dawson. That makes it 28-28. We're going to overtime. First play of the OT, the Jackets, McNeely goes 10 yards, touchdown. Denham Springs in front, 35-28. Now Walker, the pressure on them. A fourth down, game on the line, got to get a touchdown and a point after or go for two. However, the Jackets defense is all over that one, and they're going back to Denham Springs with the victory. 35-28. Denham Springs comes all the way back after trailing 14-0. Let's take you under the water tower tonight. Kentwood's Kangaroos taking on the St. Helena Hawks. Kentwood trailed 20-0, closed the lead to 20-13 by halftime. Fourth quarter, St. Helena's Corey Griffin, keeper for the touchdown. Hawks go back up double digits, 26-13. Kentwood then drives to the 2. Carmel Taylor fights his way into the end zone, cuts the St. Helena to 26-19 lead. Kentwood offense gets the ball back. Just past midfield, it's Eric Earl throwing the screen to Jamarcus Norman. Norman is headed to the end zone. That's a touchdown. St. Helena's lead is 26-25. The Roos defense would force another stop. Their offense with a chance to take the lead. Jamarian Burton, he's in the end zone. Kentwood has come all the way back to lead it 31-26. 40 seconds left in the game. But St. Helena gets into Kentwood territory, and Griffin looks deep. Brian Tanner, he's got it. With 19 seconds to go, St. Helena retakes the lead 34-31. 1 second left in the game. Last chance for the Kangaroos. Earl, can he pull it out? Scrambling around, trying to evade the tacklers. That's a completion. Tyler Hoopfin, but he is stopped. And St. Helena goes into Kentwood, a dramatic 34-31 victory over those Kangaroos.
East Feliciana taking on Episcopal. It was senior night at Episcopal. We're in the third quarter. Quarterback Lewis Ward keeps it himself and takes off for the touchdown for the Knights. Episcopal back with the ball again. Lewis finds Thomas DeArmond, and The Army is quite the player. Nice shake and bake. Oh, man, on a dime there. And nice pickup. Cooper Bro then would launch a pass to DeArmond, and he is off with the touchdown coming up as well. Those guys enjoying the moves on the sideline there. Little
nice.
razzle-dazzle.
Razzle-dazzle, yeah.
Throwing it back. There he is for the touchdown. East Feliciana's Mills Dawson is back to pass, trying to make something happen there. The animated Episcopal student section picked off by Brandon Franks, and that would lead to Ward finding Thomas DeArmond. Complete touchdown again coming up. One of our sports information friends, Jimmy Ott, tells me that Cooper Brode had a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a passing touchdown this evening, and they scored lots of points. 62-18, the final. And Coach Bourgeois' club is a good club this year. All right, let's talk about a Struma and Broadmoor this evening. Broadmoor defense trying to make something happen as DeAndre Agnew, he's off with a touchdown, 7-0. Indians out in front. Broadmoor quarterback Nahum Morehouse trying to find something in offensively, but nothing's happening as he is sacked. Indians back on attack. Is that LeKendrick Self? Throws to Deontay Brown. He fumbles it, recovered by Raekwon Odds. It's a 13-0 game at this point. Brown back in the pocket, throws, tipped, intercepted by Amari Perkins. He is off to the races, and he has the pick six to make it a 13-0 game, I should say, at that point. Bucks forced to punt. Hard hit causes a fumble, recovered by the Indians. And the quarterback, which I'm assuming is LeKendrick Self, the number was not on the roster, to Greg Young for the score. 46-0, or 47-0 was the final Struma.
All right, we need to take a quick timeout. We got about 8 games to go. There's only about 9 minutes left in the show. Stay right there. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Sportsline. Rain at Liberty. Rain, winners of 5 straight after an 0-3 start. First quarter, Rain quarterback Dylan Judice throws off play action to John DuPont for the touchdown. Rain leading 13-6. Later in the second half, Judice is looking deep, but throws a pick to Liberty's Keelan Reason. Reason is returning it for a nice play there. Fourth down for Liberty. Kylan Gross throws a touchdown pass to Brandon Davis, so Liberty is back in it, 13-16. Wolves next drive, Judice throws another interception to Liberty's Jordan Okoye to set them up in the red zone. Up in the air, and Okoye is a big kid running down the sidelines, and that would lead to Liberty field goal, ties the game up at 16. The next on the kickoff, Rain's Derek East takes it all the way to Liberty's 20-yard line. So special teams coming up big here for the Wolves. It's finally brought down. The Wolves try a field goal, but it is going to be blocked by Reason. So Reason having quite the evening.
Huge.
It's going to be returned here.
Is he going?
I believe it was blown dead and called back. So final score at this point, Liberty wins by a point, 23-22. All right, next up.
I believe we got Fort Allen and Dunham. I don't know how the Tigers played another game. The last 2 weeks, I think there's been 193 points in their games. But sure enough, they were there against the Pelicans. Hayden Hand to Jordan Dupree. Big gain on the first quarter play. And then Delante Wilson, a tough run for a touchdown right here. Tigers go in front of the Pels. 7-0 was your score. Pelicans try to get something going on offense. Brennan Gibson weaving through tacklers, but he is bottled up there. And so Dunham gets another possession, and Hand back to the air. for another touchdown. Dunham to a quick 14-0 lead. Your final score in this one tonight. Tigers big over Port Allen. 45-6 was the final.
Ascension Christian at Ascension Catholic. This game being played in Plaquemine. Opening kickoff. Lions returning it. Jackson Landry with the strip and the recovery. Bryce Leonard would find Brooks Leonard for the score. 7-0 Bulldogs out in front. Same score, Catholic with the ball. Calvin DeLone making moves for the first down into Lion territory. Nice running. That would lead to Bryce Leonard with the QB keeper, and he's going to get all the way down inside the 5 here as the pocket breaks down, and he's running it before he is finally brought down. The Bulldogs trying to capitalize on this drive, but trouble on the snap, and Braden Trieg is on it, so the Lions get the recovery. So a whole lot of driving for a whole lot of nothing for Ascension Catholic there, but then the Lions would have to punt, and DeLone is going to make them pay. Look at the moves all the way into the end zone coming up to make it 14-0 Bulldogs, and Ascension Catholic would explode for 44 points. They win it 44-19, the final score.
Not too far away, White Castle celebrating homecoming. That turf field certainly nice to have, and they're playing St. John. That is a big play in the backfield. Joseph Slaughter blowing up the play for the Eagles defense. White Castle gets the ball back, though. They're back in the red zone, and this time Hakeem Young going to take care of it. Looks like he stopped, but they push him, and we are in for the score. Now it's tied at 14. Time running out in the first half. Here come the Eagles trying to score. Maddox Bennett, the screen pass to Andrew Kleinpeter. St. John going to have a chance to score. Coaches, show this play to your kids. Last play of the half. Bennett finds Michael Patrick Edwards. Looks like he scores, but
Strip.
Wow, what an effort. The ball is stripped. How important was that? White Castle wins by 5, 32-27. We're back on the app.
All right, welcome back to Sportsline Friday night. More action here. This is like soccer. This is the extra minutes here.
That's
on
right.
the app.
It's a golden moment.
And we're starting with Beauchamp, a high school that was formed in the early 90s, and the Gators taking on Albany first quarter, and it is Jekiah Sharp finds Devin Ozamp for the first down. Russell Wheeler then punches it in to take a 6-0 advantage. Second quarter, and the Hornets of Albany looking to get on the board, and Aiden Castile finds Jeremiah Doherty for the score. Two-point conversion is good, so Albany, who came into this game with a 1-6 record, takes an 8-6 lead. Next possession for the Gators, and Sharp is going to be picked off here by John Dewey, and Dewey is going to bring it back for the touchdown. An exciting play for Albany, and they lead 16-6 at that point. The Gators looking to answer, and they fumble. It's recovered by the Hornets. And so Beauchamp came into this game having lost their last two after a 5-1 start. Albany looking to add to their lead. A few plays later, Castile finds Jamarcus Williams in the back of the end zone. So the Hornets up at this point 22-6. Did they hang on? Let's see the final score this evening. And no, they did not. So Beauchamp roars back, wins it 44-30.
It was a scoreless tie at Northeast tonight against the Capital Lions. The Vikings trying to get something going on offense. And sure enough, Tyler Sensley rolling out, scrambles out of the pocket, heads up the sideline, and guess what? The Lions can't stop him. That's a touchdown for the Vikings. They go in front 6-0 as we head to the fourth quarter. Northeast pinned deep in their own territory. Derek Johnson gets the football, but he is going to be tackled in the end zone by Capital. That's 2 points for them, and it's a 6-2 ball game in the fourth quarter. Vikings still have the lead, but they give up the possession. Ensuing drive for the Lions, Trajan Freeman going to get his team down into scoring position, facing a 4th and goal in the fourth quarter to Jeremiah Morgan. That is your game winner. Under pressure, the Lions come back to win this one 8-6 on the road at Northeast.
All right, Cecilia at Livonia this evening. The Jungle, they call it out there. Cecilia driving in the first quarter. The quarterback is sacked, C.J. Johnson. On the same drive, they hand off to Ridge Collins.
Looks like an inter-squad game, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Color patterns very similar. Ridge, a 12-yard score. Cecilia up 7-0. Moving ahead now, the kickoff coming up, and there's going to be a huge hit by Elijah Zeno. A slow-mo replay to make Zeno feel good, and the guy that got plastered, he did not enjoy the replay or that play. Alex Swallow then coming up, fires it to Kate Poirier, and Poirier is going to rumble for a 50-yard touchdown. And so in the end, Cecilia this evening, appears that they're winning. The coaches are jumping up and down as well. Let's see the final score, guys, in this game. It was 62-20 over Livonia.
Ponchatoula, undefeated season, hosting St. Paul's. Take you out and see how the Wave did tonight as Nolan Tribble will pass to Cody Finley. You recognize that name, John?
Absolutely.
TJ's little brother does a little somersault right there.
And little brother's a relative term.
It is. 3-0 at that point, but Tribble's pass here is picked off by Justin Washington. And St. Paul's has a big return. However, they missed a field goal and a chance to tie the game. Tribble to Amarian Walker on a 4th down, but that tackle keeps them from picking it up, so St. Paul's has the ball back. Grant Bilson back to pass. DeMontrell Osby gets the sack and forces a punt, and look what happens. 5-star recruit Jacoby Matthews takes that punt and takes it to the house. 65 yards. The Wave going in front 10-0 at that point. Their defense also stonewalling St. Paul's at the end. Osby would also have a 40-yard score coming up right here. Out to the outside, steps over that tackler, picks up some blocks down the sideline. The Green Wave, impressive. Final score tonight over St. Paul, 17-0 Ponchatoula.
You gotta love this next game just because of the mascots. Lumberjacks and Cowboys. This is a man's game right here. Talking about Bogalusa and Jules Sumner, and Rodney Brown on the carry. Big gain down the sidelines. Into the end zone he goes. So how about them Cowboys for the early lead? And then Cameron Cook also getting in on the action. Fast start for Jules Sumner.
Best kept secret around. They're averaging 50 points a game.
And homecoming this evening, the lovely ladies had plenty of good action to watch there on the sideline. We talked about Cameron Cook. Now the Lumberjacks will answer back. Tadron Forbes takes the pass from Ashton Levi and gets into the end zone. Bogalusa on the board. Cowboys back with the ball, and the deep pass from Andreas Marino is incomplete, but we've got pass interference. So Sumner back on the move, and in the red zone, Darren Thomas is going to run it in for Sumner. And so what's our score this evening? Bogalusa was chopping wood, Steve. 42-34, the final score. They come back.
I'd say we were chopping wood, us and our crew tonight. We promised 40 minutes. We actually gave them 46. What could week 10 mean?
A lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Lots of great action. A lot of points, and we look forward to the postseason, which is getting close. For Sports Director Steve Schneider, I'm Jacques Doucet. Have yourself a great weekend, and be safe out there for Halloween. We'll be back next Friday night.